What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Nerd Media. Daredevil Born Again has released its third episode last night. I got to watch it, and there is a lot that I loved about this episode, and a lot that I'm loving about this show so far. So, in this video, we're going to be reviewing episode 3, talking about some of the highlights for me, some of the things I loved, theorizing about what could be coming next, and just highlighting some of my favorite moments. But with all that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe, comment down below what you thought of episode 3 of Daredevil Born Again, and let's dive right into the review. So first things first, one of the things that I wanted to see in this series overall was a lot of time in the courtroom, and we got exactly that in this episode, and I just loved it so much. It was so mainly focused on making you feel suspense for what could possibly happen, and really just nailing in the whole courtroom aspect and lawyer aspect of Matt Murdock that I feel like we didn't get to see as much in the Daredevil series, that we got to see a little bit in She-Hulk. And I overall really loved it. And I think this was a step up from episode 2. Episode 2 is probably my least favorite of the 3 that we've gotten so far. And I just think that it was a little bit dipped down from episode 1. But I think that episode 3 is probably my second favorite of the series so far. And I'm really loving the courtroom stuff. If they gave us a whole entire series just with Matt just trying to defend different clients, like each episode, and they were all like an hour long, I would be here for it. If we didn't see him in the suit at all and we just got a show like that, I would still be here for it because we haven't seen him in the Daredevil suit in 2 episodes. And I so far have no complaints about that because of how well the story is and how well written it is and just how engaging and how impactful everything is in this show so far without the Daredevil stuff. And the element of not knowing anything or not knowing what could happen next is something that I really felt in this episode. And it was genuinely a feeling that I haven't had with a Marvel Disney Plus TV show or even movie in like forever, where I genuinely don't know what will happen next. Thanks to leaks and spoilers and stuff, that all kind of goes away, especially with these movies and shows like this. But because of the fact that this show is releasing at like 6 o'clock Eastern, at 6 o'clock PST, and we don't have to wait like a whole entire day to sit down and watch it after dealing with the busy day, it just makes it so much better, and I can go in not knowing anything about what's going to happen, and I can get surprised. And genuinely, I didn't know if we were going to see White Tiger be proved guilty or non-guilty, and I was very shocked when they did that and said that he was not guilty. And the ending totally shocked me as well. I mean, I was just blown away that I was actually able to feel these things for a Marvel project again. Diving more into the White Tiger aspect of this episode, I really loved how the whole entire case that we had for White Tiger is also a reflection of Matt and kind of like how he feels about Daredevil. And he says stuff like, you realize how much you don't miss it. And there's a lot of things that we see the defending side say that kind of resonates with Matt. And I really dug how they somehow found a way to intertwine this courtroom with Daredevil while not having him be Daredevil in this episode. I thought that was so well done, and I just loved it, and I really am digging the storytelling and just all of that in this episode. This whole series so far has had great storytelling, and I think it is telling a brilliant story for the Daredevil character, and I am very excited to see where it's going to go next. And I'm just really excited to see when we're going to see Daredevil next. When are we going to see him in that suit? And how are we going to see him kind of get to that point where he wants to suit up again? When we are in the courtroom, we find out Matt did not kill those cops as much as a lot of people had assumed that he did because of those sound effects. But apparently he just gave him a black eye and stuff. So we're all good there. Matt has not killed anybody yet, technically. But Matt in the courtroom, I loved seeing him just go to work and do what he is, be a lawyer. And I really enjoyed that. Every single scene that we got of him just defending White Tiger, I loved it. And I thought that it was so entertaining. I am so shocked at how entertaining the courtroom stuff actually got. I mean, the vibe that I got from the the whole courtroom aspect of this episode, is that it really felt like the Frank Castle kind of case. I only say that because I don't think we've had as impactful of a case that we've seen Matt take on than the Frank Castle's case, and I think that this is right up there, and it definitely made an impact. Also, side note, I'm loving the color grading in this show. I think that it's great. I mean, obviously, a lot of people's problems with a bunch of movies in general nowadays, especially Marvel movies, is that the color grading is kind of just gray, and I can agree on that with some films, but usually I just don't look at the color grading. But because we've seen that a lot in recent films, this really stands out, and I thought the color grading is just great in the show overall, but great in this episode. And seeing Matt and White Tiger kind of discuss vigilantism and just have those discussions while he doesn't know that Matt is Daredevil, I think were just brilliant, and I really, really do enjoy watching those conversations because we had a few of them in this episode. You know, one where Matt says, "You don't realize how much you don't miss it," and they're talking about the frogs at the beach that White Tiger wants to go see again. And by the way, the end credits, like the credits song that they played, was like the frog noise, and I thought that that was beautiful. But I think that those conversations were just great, and I love when characters have conversations with other characters when they don't know that there is a double meaning to what they are actually saying, which is kind of the case with Matt speaking to him, and I just really, really enjoy that a lot. Diving more into that ending of the episode, which was a brutal, brutal, gut punching ending, because right when we get attached to White Tiger and we actually genuinely want to see more of his character, he just straight up gets killed, and honestly, this show just keeps continuing to make really, really bold choices, but this show has already sold me, and I am so here for all of these choices. Is it upsetting that he is dead? Yes, but I've done some research, and in the comics, his niece does become White Tiger, the female White Tiger that I think we're all mostly used to, and she was name dropped in this episode. His niece was, so maybe she'll become White Tiger later down the line. I'm sure that they're going to try and set that up somehow, but the White Tiger isn't dead, but I'm 100% sure that this version of him is. And obviously, they show the Punisher logo. I don't think that's the Punisher. I think that it is a corrupt cop. I think it's probably their leader. And I think that Frank is going to be very pissed once he hears about all of this because now that somebody has killed White Tiger with that symbol on their chest, I cannot imagine what he is going to do, and I am so excited and here for it because I love Frank and I just want to see him go crazy on these people because honestly, man, he's not gonna be happy. And I did some research on the leader of like that whole cop like sanctuary area, like with those the cops that are on that side of the court. And I think it's Officer Cole, I'm pretty sure. And I think that he is the kind of leader of it because there are set photos out there of Officer Cole in a Punisher kind of coat and with that symbol. So I can only assume that that's him. I mean, I feel like it's just obvious it's not Frank because why would Frank do that? That he has nothing against White Tiger. He probably doesn't even know that he exists. But it's definitely him or somebody else in that kind of area of cops. And I'm really, really loving this slow build of this conflict of this group of cops that are just kind of against vigilantes and wanting to actually genuinely murder them. And I love the slow build of us building up that story up until probably the climax where we're going to see Punisher come in and we're going to see Matt realize that the Punisher logo is on everybody's like either their skin, their clothes, anywhere, and we're gonna see that come down. But overall, this was a really great episode, and I cannot wait for more. This show is killing it right now, and I am loving it, and I am very, very much looking forward to every Tuesday now, which again is something I have not really felt with Marvel recently, where I'm genuinely excited about what is coming next for their TV shows or movies. I mean, yeah, I'm excited for Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts, but if I'm being totally honest here, that is probably all that I'm excited for from Marvel this year besides Daredevil. But I am so happy that I'm able to feel this way with Marvel again, and I cannot wait for next Tuesday for episode 4. Charlie Cox said that episode 4 is one that he is very excited for the fans to see, so that definitely gets my hype a little bit higher, more than it already is. So I'm very excited to see what they have in store for episode 4. But with all that being said, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought of episode 3 of Daredevil Born Again. Are you enjoying the show so far? And what are you thinking of the storylines they're throwing at us? But let me know all that in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.